Fish on one there? Yeah.
Everyone's.
Yeah. It is not cold in here.
Judge, this is for something else.
Oh, okay.
Here you go.
There you go.
I say it's fine.
Yeah.
You want to see it from my angle now?
No, I do not.
Okay. No, this will work. So, Judge, on page 3, did you get a? Fish on one there? Yeah.
Everyone's.
It is not understand about riding here via bus.
Judge, this is for
I don't
something
want him
else.
to come in and.
okay. Oh, I never yell at anyone. I say it's fine.
You want to see it from my angle now?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Okay, Deputy Laura, you know what
So,
musical
Judge, on
got
page
stuck
3,
in my head this weekend?
Did you get a?
Cats. Cats the musical. You know why it was stuck in my head?
Everyone's.
And then, it is not understand about this weekend. You know what came up in my timeline? Oh, I never yell at anyone. I say it's fine.
You want to see it from my angle?
No, I do not. Okay, Deputy Laura, you know what musical got stuck in my head this weekend? But no, that's not the one that was stuck in my head. Cats. The one with the magical cat or something. Stuck in my head. That one got stuck in my head. But you know what came up on my timeline in Facebook this weekend? All right. You know what came up in my timeline?
Check out basketball. Since we haven't agreed yet about that we're recommending.
So anyway, on my Facebook, what came up in my timeline was an issue with the San Antonio Criminal Defense Lawyers Association. This is what happened. So anyway, I was president of the San Antonio Black Lawyers Association, and I would always say, why do people say these CLEs are foundation and it's not foundation, right? And then I would say, why are these CLEs so expensive? Are you paying people to travel out of town? So I said, you know what, I'm going to start doing CLEs. So for San Antonio Black Lawyers Association, I would have free CLEs during lunch once a month, and then we would have our big CLE. So for our big CLEs, it would be child protective services and also criminal law. So I think for brand new attorneys who've been out for 5 years, we charge them like $40. And then other attorneys, no more than I think $100 or $150, and you would get all of your hours for the entire year. So next thing you know what ends up happening? I'll get invited to be a board member of SACRA, San Antonio Criminal Defense Lawyers Association. I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't know. I think maybe they wanted me because they didn't have any black board members at that time, and I would have been the only black board member. I'm like, whatever. So I was getting on their board, and then the next thing I know, the speakers that I would have for San Antonio Black Lawyers Association, they would come to me and say, SACRA has come to them and said, don't speak at your CLE. So then they decided to have a meeting with me, SACRA, part of their board members, at, I'll never forget, it was at the Mexican Manhattan. And guess what they were meeting with me to tell me? You need to stop doing these CLEs. And I said, solo practitioners are not wealthy people. They can't afford these CLEs at these prices. And I said, I still don't know why your CLEs cost so much. So they're like, well, you can't do that anymore. I'm like, whatever. So I continue to do them. Then the next thing I know, guess what ends up happening? Yeah, Adam Cobbs ends up calling some kind of emergency SACRA meeting at the, it was downtown at the mile, I think it was in the Milam building. So I go in there, I'm the only black person at this meeting with petitioners, and I think it was like 2 females, so they're calling an emergency meeting. And I'm like, what is this emergency meeting about? What, I didn't say anything, people were just getting up speaking. So an hour into it, I raised my hand again. I said, what is this emergency meeting about? Then they start saying what it's about. George Sharman wanted to start doing a DWI CLE, and Software felt like it was taking money from them and taking money from another organization. Next thing I know, there's a bunch of profanity being shouted by these attorneys who I previously had great respect for. And so I'm like, Adam, why are y'all having this meeting? What is this about? But next thing I know, they put a motion on the floor wanting you to swear an oath of allegiance to Software. Has nobody ever heard of, red history? And so I said, yeah, Stephanie Boyd is not doing that. And then I sent in my letter of resignation because I'm like, I don't swear oaths to any organization. It would be different if you've hired me and I'm doing a non-compete clause, but otherwise, not. So then they continued to keep me in their emails, and then guess what I discovered? When they have their, I think it's the Fiesta thing that they put on, they spend approximately $10,000 on alcohol. And attorneys have an issue with alcohol, right? And so I sent an email, and in the email I said, instead of spending $10,000 on alcohol, why don't you let the attorneys pay for their own alcohol, and you can do tea, water, whatever. And I said, you can set that money aside, and when you have an attorney who's sick, instead of them still having to work because solo practitioners don't get paid if they don't work, I said, how about helping them out financially? Ooh, I got so much backlash. And I was like, yeah, thank you. This organization is not what I thought it would be. So that came up on my timeline. And you know what here's the kicker about it. When we had COVID and they were not doing CLEs anywhere, and I knew solo practitioners didn't have money to pay for CLEs, I did a 3-day CLE to cover all of the hours that any attorney would need for free. The only thing I was saying, hey, if you want to donate to scholarships for students or this, you can do that. And some of the attorneys were donating to scholarships. And guess what? Every last one of those members, well, I didn't say everyone, a majority of the software people were on that Zoom getting their CLE for free. But I was like, so that came up in my timeline. John, you're looking at me like, what? Yeah, that really happened. CLEs anywhere, and I knew solo practitioners. All right, I'm going to call the docket. When I call the docket, you need to stand and let me know you're here. Otherwise, I'm going to assume you're not here, and a warrant may be issued for your arrest. Let's not start Monday that way. Perez is in custody. Dahar, custody. Mahan, is Mahan in custody or on bond?
I think it's moving federal scholarships.
All right, we will see. Natalie Jean Garcia. A majority of the software people were on that Zoom. Jonathan Lee Pomeratz, custody. Eric Mason, custody. Araya Yandel. Thank you. All right, I'm going to call the docket. When I call the docket, you need to William Jean James. You're not here, and a warrant may be issued for your arrest. Let's not start Monday that way. You had a bus issue. I understand that because I used to take the bus. Hector Carino, custody. Jeffrey Davila. Thank you. Garrett Gillen. Jean Garcia. Ruben Sanchez. Justin Lopez, custody. Roger Anthony, custody. Lisette Rodriguez, custody. Thank you. Jeffrey Davila, I've already called you previously. Mike Solana, custody. Deshaun Jarman Lewis, thank you. Valerie Compion, is she in custody or on bond? Jesse Garza, Hector Carino, Daryl King, I understand that because I used custody. Hector Carino, custody. Jeffrey Davila, Dominic Smith, custody. Robert Perez, custody. Charlie Perkins, custody. Marina Fonseca. Marina Angel Fonseca. Johnny De La Rosa, calling in from Garza West. He'll be calling in shortly. Ana Pena.
Just, that one's gonna have to get just.
Justin Lopez, custody. Jose Mesa, custody. Gabriel Rubincheck, custody. Jeffrey Davila. I'm sorry, I've already called you previously. Oh, sorry. Gabriella, custody. Anyone who's present in your name was not called? Valerie. Oh, I'm sorry. What's your name? Is she in custody or on bond? Natalie Garcia? Jean James. Jesse Garza. Hector Carino. Darren King. Thank you. Custody. All right, anyone else? Custody. All right, attorneys, you all know the rules. Do I need to repeat the rules? Thank you. All right, everyone, please confirm. Let the clerk know when you're ready to proceed. Charlie Perkins, custody. Marina Fonseca. Marina Angel
I
Fonseca.
felt very black and white today.
Johnny Della Rosa calling in from Garza West. He'll be calling in shortly.
I did not take the
That
oath
one's gonna have to get just.
of allegiance.
Justin Lopez. Jose Mesa, custody. Gabriel Rubincheck, custody. Jeffrey Davila. I'm sorry, I've already called you previously. Sorry. Gabriel custody.
Okay.
Anyone
All right, thank you.
who's present in your name was not called? Oh, I'm sorry, what's your name?
I don't know.
Sure. Natalie Garcia?
Okay, so
Yes. Everyone please confirm. Charlie Perkins, custody. Marina Fonseca. Marina Angel Fonseca.
Yeah, because nobody gave me the order.
Johnny
but,
Della Rosa
he'll be calling in.
from Garza West. He'll be calling in shortly.
Okay, so he'll be calling in, so that way we can let him know that you're his attorney and you're taking care of things.
Justin Lopez.
You don't. I mean, you know. Yes. Oh, I mean, what the? Yes, I did.
if you bring this in,
Custody.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
I'll check. I'm just calling.
Yes. Cindy. Charlie Perkins, custody. Marina Fonseca.
11. Johnny Della Rosa. Will you be? Yeah, because nobody gave me the order.
Johnny Della Rosa.
He'll be calling in.
He'll be
I
calling in
have no
shortly.
idea. So he'll be calling in, so that way we can let him know that you're his attorney and you're taking care of things.
Yes. Oh, I mean, what the? Yes, I did. Custody. Yes. Thank you.
So he's supposed to be zooming in. We're going to find out if he still wants to do his appeal.
Charlie Perkins, custody. Marina Fonseca. 11. Johnny Della Rosa.
Will you be? Yeah, because nobody gave me the order.
Johnny Della Rosa. He'll be calling in from Garza West. He'll be calling in shortly. So he'll be calling in.
Probation Robert Perez is being reset to August 6th.
Yes. I mean, what the? Yes, I did. Custody.
Yes. All right, and once Gabriella Rubincheck is brought up, we'll take that matter up. So have y'all conferred on the motion to revoke? Not on the bond, but on the motion itself? Gabriella Rubencheck.
Sorry, was it Dominic Dayton Senior for research? Just told me.
No, it's Robert Pettis. On page 9.
Robert Pettis. PSI?
Yeah. Yes, he has a PSI and also, I think he has a motion to revoke or something.
The gentleman just came and asked me for the PSI.
Not on Robert Pettis.
Okay. When was he reset to?
I was 6. So have y'all conferred on the motion to revoke? Not on the bond, but on the motion itself?
9 a.m. 9 a.m. Okay. I don't know if you normally do those in the mornings or in the afternoons. Sorry, was it Dominic Dayton Senior for research? Just told me.
No, it's Robert Pettis. On page 9. Explain to me how Alamo Ranch, they're going to do a 6-lane roadway, but there are some parts in San Antonio that don't even have a sidewalk.
The gentleman just came and asked me for the...
And no potholes. I bet you those are places where people don't vote. Robert Pettis.
Okay. When was he reset to?
I was 6. So have y'all conferred on the motion to revoke? Not on the bond, but on the motion itself?
9 a.m. 9 a.m. Okay. I don't know if you normally do those in the mornings or in the Sorry, was it Dominic Dayton Senior for research? Just told me.
Explain to me how Alamo Ranch, they're going to do a 6-lane roadway, but there are some parts in San Antonio that don't even have a sidewalk.
Just came and asked me for the...
And no potholes. I bet you those are places where people don't vote. Robert Pettis.
When was he reset to?
I was 6.
Together,
I mean, are you all going to, because if y'all are working out the MTR, then there's going to be. All right, so did y'all want to wait and negotiate with that, or and then do the block?
No, it's Robert Pettis.
All right, Cindy, are you ready?
On page 9. Robert Pettis. PSI? All right. Yes.
All right, where's Ruben Chuck? Court is calling 2024 CR 0736, State versus Gabriela Rubenchuk. Can I have parties announced? And are you Miss Rubenchuk? Is it Chuck or Chuck? Can I have parties announced for the record? I'm sorry, y'all have already announced. Yeah, let's do it again, right? All right, so your attorney has filed a motion to set bond. Does anyone want to put any evidence on the record for court on her ability to make bond?
Nothing to say, Judge.
She has been remanded without bond because she picked up some new offenses, Your Honor. We have agreed to a recommendation of $5,000 for previous bond, but then $3,000.
Okay, off the record for a moment.
On page 9. Explain to me how Alamo Ranch, they're going to do a 6-lane roadway, but there are some parts in San Antonio that don't even have a sidewalk. And no potholes. I bet you those are places where people don't
Ms.
vote.
Rubenchuk has been in custody. She has no resources other than one friend of hers who has attempted to help her. He has very limited resources. He's been able to make about $300 payment to me and her representation, so I know that his resources are very limited. He would like to try and get her out, and I'm sure that with a $5,000 bond, he would be able to make payments to a bail bondsman to bond her out.
All right, what's her criminal history?
Judge, she's currently on probation for,
Possession of cinegram.
I know, for smuggling of persons out of Kinney County, as well as the arrest in the ground in Fairchild.
And what are the what are the offense dates?
For other persons, I do not know, Judge, but she also has 2 new offenses, the new possession of controlled substance, as well as tampering and unauthorized discipline.
Does anyone know the date of the smuggling of persons?
I don't.
All right, thank you.
I don't have any information on it at all because it's never shown up on any of the NPRs.
It appears it was April 22nd of 2022, according to the transfer paperwork we have from the other county.
All right, thank you. That helps me. All right, Joy, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record. All right, the questions I'm going to ask you are not about the allegations that are in this motion. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. In the past, have you ever used any type of controlled substance?
And in the past, yes, sir.
And what would that be?
And have you ever been diagnosed with any type of mental health issues? Have you ever been on any type of prescription medication? All right.
Wish I could say that.
You know, I always think when you say prescription medication, people don't, like when they have the flu, if somebody gives them prescription medication, I don't know why people don't count that as prescription medication. But maybe you've never been on any type of prescription medication. All right. All right, this is going to, the bond will be set at $5,000. There's going to be regular UAs, waive fees, and Ms. Ferguson, give her a reset form for August 20th because that's when her contested hearing is. And there will be no further resets on the contested hearing. All right, thank you. All right, so did y'all want to wait and negotiate with her and do the bond? Yes. All right, Cindy, are you ready? On page 9. Then they'll give you a copy of this. Court is calling 2024 CR 0736, State versus Gabrielle Rubinchuk. Can I have parties announced? And are you Miss Rubinchuk? Is it Chuck or Chuck? Could I have parties announced for the record? I'm sorry, y'all have already announced. Yeah, let's do it again, right? All right, so your attorney has filed a motion to set bond. Does anyone want to put any evidence on the record for court on her ability to make bond?
This is on the trial, attorney.
Yes.
We have agreed to a recommendation of $5,000 to $3,000.
Okay, well, if he decides that he is going to want his appeal, then you have to start preparing it. We're going to find out today at 9:30 because he's supposed to be zooming in.
Yeah, this is just the date of the verdict.
Ms. Rubinchuk has been in custody. She has no resources other than one friend of hers who has attempted to help her. He has very limited resources. He's been able to make about $300 payment to her representation, so I know that his resources are very limited. He would like to try and get her out, and I'm sure that with a $5,000 bond, he would be able to make payments to a bail bondsman to bond her out.
All right, what's her criminal history?
Judge, she's currently on probation for
Possession of cinnamon.
for smuggling of persons out of King County, as well as the Western Ground in
You know what, whatever. I'm about to speak through.
I do not know, Judge, but she also has 2 new offenses, the new possession of controlled substance, as well as tampering and
We are here.
For the caller, please unmute.
Does anyone know the date of the smuggling of persons? All right. Thank you.
I don't have any information on the law because it's never shown up on any of the appeals.
It appears it was April 22nd, 2022, according to the transfer paperwork we have from the other county.
All right, thank you. Smith. right, do you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
To the person on Zoom, on the phone, please unmute.
You are
Yes.
the allegations that are in this motion.
Hello, is that Mr. De La Rosa?
All right.
Yes, it is.
In the past, have you ever used any type of controlled substance?
Cindy, are you ready? Court is calling 2024 CR 008420, State versus Johnny De La Rosa. So, Mr. De La Rosa, you are by Zoom from Garza West, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. De La Rosa, with regards to your case, the court granted your right to appeal if you chose to appeal. However, for some reason, the order was not tendered to the court, although the court had made a ruling on your notice or your request for appeal after trial was concluded. So the attorney that has been appointed to represent you on appeal is James Seeloff. And for the record, Mr. Seeloff is present in the courtroom.
Waive fees?
Mr. Seeloff has not been able to start on your appeal because the order had not been signed and he was not giving access to the trial court records. But he has been assigned. He's going to be given access to the records. Do you still wish to continue with your appeal?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Seeloff, do you need to speak to him or would you like to speak to him in the breakout room?
Well, I just want to know what to put down for the document statement for notice of appeal, what date?
You can start with today's date, and if you can do an out-of-time notice. And the out-of-time is because you had not received the order on his notice of appeal. And if there are any issues with the fourth court, just let us know. Right. You may be excused. And Mr. De La Rosa, your appeal will be perfected with Mr. Seeloff, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome. Yes.
I'm sorry, you all have already announced.
Mr. Seeloff, you have Cindy's information because she'll let you know when the record is prepared.
Okay, I was going to send the motion. I don't need that. Thank you, Pat.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Cindy, can you?
Okay. Well, if he decides that he is going to want his appeal, then you have to start preparing it. We're going to find out today at 9:30 because he's supposed to be zooming in.
Yeah, this is just the date of the verdict, so.
The student Chuck has been in custody. She has no resources other than one friend of hers who has attempted to help her. He has very limited resources. She's been able to make
Deputy Laura, when you get a chance, can you bring on Eric Mason, please?
representation, so I know that his resources are very limited. He would like to try and get her out, and I'm sure that with $5,000 bond, he would be able to make payments to a bail bondsman to her out.
All right, what's her criminal history?
She's currently on probation for
Possession of cinnamon.
for smuggling of persons out of King County, as well as Industrial Brown is
You know what, whatever.
I'm
not to speak through.
I do not know Judge. She also has 2 new offenses that may possession of controlled substance, as well as tampering and
We are here. For the caller, please unmute. Does anyone know the date of the smuggling of persons? All right. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Mason? Your attorney is currently in a jury trial in another court, so of course they cannot be here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to recall you for next week
and hopefully he will have concluded his trial this week. So I don't know where he is in the phase. I don't know if they've done jury selections or not. Sure. I'm sorry, what? Back out of what? Ah, okay. So, did you enter a plea in this case? Well, no. So here's the thing. That's something you need to speak to with your attorney. And I will hear it, and there are only a few legal grounds for filing a motion to withdraw a plea. So, yes, we'll be back next week. No, I'm going to recall this for Monday. And if your attorney is available sooner than then, he will let us know.
So, Mr. Delaware,
have a good day.
With regards to your case, the court granted your right to appeal if you chose to appeal. However, for some reason, the order was not tendered to the court, although the court had made a ruling on your notice or your request for appeal after trial was concluded. So the attorney that has been appointed to represent you on appeal is James Seeloff. And for the record, Mr. Seeloff is present in the courtroom. Mr. Seeloff has not been able to start on your appeal because the order had not been signed and he was not giving access to the trial court records. But he has been assigned. He's going to be given access to the records. Do you still wish to continue with your appeal?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Seeloff, do you need to speak to him, or would you like to speak to him in the breakout room?
Well, I just want to know what to put down for the document statement for notice of appeal, what date?
You can start with today's date, and if you can do an out-of-time notice. And the out-of-time is because you had not received the order on his notice of appeal. And if there are any issues with the fourth court, just let us know. All right. You may be excused. And Mr. De La Rosa, your appeal will be perfected with Mr. Seeloff, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome. Yes. I'm sorry, y'all have already announced. Mr. Seeloff, you have Cindy's information because she'll let you know when the record is prepared.
Okay, I was going to send the motion. I don't need that. Thank you, Pat.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Cindy, can you, if he decides that he is going to want his appeal, then you have to start preparing it. We're going to find out today at 9:30 because he's supposed to be zooming in. Well, this is just the date of the verdict.
Student Sharp has been in custody. She has no resources other than one friend of hers who has attempted to help her. He has very limited resources. She's been able to make...
Deputy Laura, when you get a chance, can you bring out Eric Mason, please?
So I know that his resources are very limited. He would like to try and get her out, and I'm sure that $5,000 bond, he would be able to make payments to a bail bondsman to
All right, what's her criminal history?
She's currently on probation for possession of cinnamon, for smuggling of persons on state couch, as well as the background
You know what, whatever. I'm not the security.
I do not know Judge. She also has 2 new offenses that may have possession of substance, as well as
We are here. For the caller, please unmute. Does anyone know the date of the smuggling of persons? All right. All right. Mr. Mason?
your attorney is currently in a jury trial in another court, so of course they cannot be here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to recall you for next week, and hopefully he will have concluded his trial this week. So I don't know where he is in the phase. I don't know if they've done jury selections or not. Sure. I'm sorry, what? Back out of what? Okay. So, did you enter a plea in this case? Well, no. So here's the thing. That's something you need to speak to with your attorney. And I will hear it, and there are only a few legal grounds for filing a motion to withdraw a plea. So, yes, we'll be back next week. No, I'm going to recall this for Monday. And if your attorney is available sooner than then, he will let us know.
So, Mr.
welcome. Have a good day.
With regards to your case, the court granted your right to appeal if you chose to appeal. However, for some reason, the order was not tendered to the court, although the court had made a ruling on your notice or your request for appeal after trial was concluded. So the attorney that has been appointed to represent you on appeal is James Seeloff. And for the record, Mr. Seeloff is present in the courtroom. Mr. Seeloff has not been able to start on your appeal because the order had not been signed and he was not giving access to the trial court records. But he has been assigned. He's going to be given access to the records. Do you still wish to continue with your appeal?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Seeloff, do you need to speak to him, or would you like to speak to him in the breakout room?
Well, I just want to know what to put down for the doctor's statement for notice of appeal. What date?
You can start with today's date, and if you can do an out-of-time notice. And the out-of-time is because you had not received the order on his notice of appeal. And if there are any issues with the fourth court, just let us know. All right. You may be excused. And Mr. De La Rosa, your appeal will be perfected with Mr. Seeloff, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome. Yes. Mr. Seeloff, you have Cindy's information because she'll let you know when the record is prepared.
Okay, I'll just send the motion. I don't need that.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Cindy, can you, if he decides that he is going to want his appeal, then you have to start preparing it. We're going to find out today at 9:30 because he's supposed to be zooming in.
So this is just the date of the verdict.
The student Sharp has been in custody. She has no resources other than one friend of hers who has attempted to help her. He has very limited resources. She's been able to make...
Deputy Laura, when you get a chance, can you bring out Eric Mason, please?
He would like to try and get around that. I'm sure that $5,000 off, he would be able to make payments to a bail bondsman.
All right, so to criminal history.
Judge is currently on probation for
You know what, I'm not too curious.
I do not know Judge. She also has 2 new offenses that may rob possession of substance as well as
We are here. For the caller, please unmute. Does anyone know the date of the
smuggling of persons? All right. All right. Mr. Mason? Your attorney is currently in a jury trial in another court, so of course they cannot be here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to recall you for next week, and hopefully he will have concluded his trial this week. So I don't know where he is in the phase. I don't know if they've done jury selections or not. Sure. I'm sorry, what? Back out of what? Ah, okay. So, did you enter a plea in this case? Well, no. So here's the thing. That's something you need to speak to with your attorney. And I will hear it, and there are only a few legal grounds for filing a motion to withdraw a plea. So, yes, we'll be back next week. No, I'm going to recall this for Monday. And if your attorney is available sooner than then, he will let us know. So, you're welcome. Have a good day. With regards to your case, the court granted your right to appeal if you chose to appeal. However, for some reason, the order was not tendered to the court, although the court had made a ruling on your notice or your request for appeal after trial was concluded. So the attorney that has been appointed to represent you on appeal is James Seeloff. And for the record, Mr. Seeloff is present in the courtroom. Mr. Seeloff has not been able to start on your appeal because the order had not been signed and he was not giving access to the trial court records. But he has been assigned. He's going to be given access to the records. Do you still wish to continue with your appeal?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Seeloff, do you need to speak to him, or would you like to speak to him in the breakout room?
Well, I just want to know to put down for the document statement for notice of appeal, what date?
You can start with today's date, and if you can do an out-of-time notice. And the out-of-time is because you had not received the order on his notice of appeal. And if there are any issues with the fourth court, just let us know. Right. You may be excused. And Mr. De La Rosa, your appeal will be perfected with Mr. Seeloff, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome. Yes. Mr. Seeloff, you have Cindy's information because she'll let you know when the record is prepared.
Okay, I'll just send the motion. I don't need that.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Cindy, can you? Just 1 second. Is going to want his appeal, then you have to start preparing it. All right. Who's next? Today at 9:30 because he's supposed to be zooming in.
Please don't bring down on time.
Brian Mahoney? Yes.
Hi, Judge. Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Mahan is in federal custody. He's expected to be released on the 8th.
Okay. The 8th of this month?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Norma, on this case, since he's expected to be released on the 8th, make sure that he is brought to court on he's being released on a Saturday?
That's what it says.
All right, Norma, then have him on the docket for August 10th.
All right, we'll see you back on August 10th.
That's
Thank you. And let me see, why is an Odyssey opening?
Does anyone know the date of the smuggling of persons? All right. Mr. Mason? Your attorney is currently in the jury trial in another court, so they cannot be here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to
Academy, but on the PSI for working for King County, with Lauren's permission, I was able to get a permission to show you this photograph.
Sure, just sit in here.
County photos. We look at it.
Okay, just give me
it's hard because you can't just. There's not a website you can go to that says how much time Jeff has. How his mom would like to tell him.
did you
So goes.
please?
Thank you.
Well, no. So here's the thing. That's something you need to speak to with your attorney. And I will hear it, and there are only a few legal grounds for filing a motion to withdraw a plea. Yes, we'll be back next week. Now I'm going to recall this for Monday. And if your attorney is available sooner than then, he will let us know. So, you're welcome. Have a good day. With regards to your case, the court granted your right to appeal if you chose to appeal. However, for some reason, the order was not tendered to the court. Although the court had made a ruling on your notice request for appeal after trial was concluded. So the attorney that has been appointed to represent you on appeal is James Seeloff. And for the record, Mr. Seeloff is present in the courtroom. Mr. Seeloff has not been able to start on your appeal because the order had not been signed.
Yes.
And he was not giving
It goes next to this for Jeffrey Davila. It's just a reset. It's a discovery hearing. I do believe, I don't know if it's discovery conferred.
What page is he on?
3, I believe. Jeffrey Davila's got 3 volumes.
All right, Jeffrey Davila.
Do you need to speak to him, or would you like to speak to him in the breakout room? You can start with today's date, and if you can do an out-of-time notice.
All right, today's the plea deadline date. Where are we? Is this going to be a jury trial?
We confer judgment without reaching.
All right, Norm, I need this set for a jury trial.
If there are any issues with the fourth court, just
And you can put it on August 17th. Thank you. Once you sign the reset form, you will be excused. Thank you.
be perfected with Mr. Seeloff, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome. Yes. Mr. Seeloff, you have Cindy's information, so she'll let you know when the record is
Well,
prepared.
let me ask you this. How long do you state? How long y'all expect this trial to last? Okay. Are y'all ready this week?
We're not ready to speak.
All right.
I was on the discovery hearings.
Now, and I need an acknowledgement of discovery signed. All right. Thank you. Just 1 second.
Going to want his appeal, and you have to start preparing it.
All right. Who's next?
He's supposed to be zooming in.
Page 1, bring down on time.
Brian Mahone? Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Mahan is in federal custody. He's expected to be released on the 8th.
Okay. The 8th of this month?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And state that's acknowledgement of discovery in 3 cases.
In this case, since he's expected to be released on the 8th, make sure that he is brought to court on
He's being released on a Saturday?
That's what it says.
All right, Norma, then have him on the docket for August 10th. All right, let's see what on August 10th. All right, thank you. Thank you. And let me see, why is an Odyssey opening? Does anyone know the date of the smuggling of persons? Mr. Mason?
Right, who's next?
Your attorney is currently in the
But on the PSI, if you're working parking committee, with Lauren's permission, I was able to get a permission to show you this photograph.
Sure, just sit in here.
County photos.
Okay, just give me a
Can't just, not a website you can go to that says how much time Jeff has. Out of his mom, like to tell him. So
Thank you.
Well, no. So here's the thing. That's something you need to speak to with your attorney. And I will hear it, and there are only a few legal grounds for filing a motion to withdraw a plea. Versus Johnny Delarosa. Yes, we'll be back next week. Now, I'm going to recall this for Monday. And if your attorney is available sooner than then, he will let us know. So, you're welcome. Have a good day. With regards to your case, the court granted your right to appeal if you chose to appeal. However, for some reason,
No, he didn't. All right, so if you want to call the defense attorney, he should know.
appeal after trial was concluded. So the attorney that has been appointed to represent you on appeal is James Seeloff. And for the record, Mr. Seeloff is present in the courtroom to waive fees. Mr. Seeloff has not been able to argue his appeal because the order had not been signed.
Yes.
And he was not giving
it goes next to this for Jeffrey Davila. It's just a reset. It's a discovery hearing. I do believe I have all this discovery that we've heard from
what page is he on?
3, I believe. Jeffrey Davila got 3 rounds.
All right. Jeffrey Davila. Do you need to speak to him, or would you like to speak to him in the breakout room? You can start with today's date, and if you can do an out-of-time notice. All right, today's the plea deadline date. Where are we? Is this going to be a jury trial?
We can for judge without a chair.
All right, Norm, I need this set for a jury trial. And you can put it on August 17th. Thank you. Once you sign the reset form, you will be excused. Thank you. All right, the court is calling 2026 CR 004753, State versus Charlie Ray Perkins. Can I have parties announced?
What's the state's attorney?
All right, and this trial to last. Are you Mr. Perkins? Okay. We're here today for sentencing. All right.
Discovery hearings.
Now, and I need an acknowledgement of discovery signed. All right, thank you. According to your plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 7 years in the prison. There's a $1,200 fine. State is opposed to your application. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
Yes, Judge.
Any objections to the PSI report?
Just to point out two things. Both on page 1, it may be minor, but driver's license not on file, Texas. He's never had a license. It's not that it's not on file. He's never had a license. Minimalized was, there's a box for an X on that. However, I thoroughly read the narrative. Mr. Perkins read the narrative, and I guess that's more for argument. but it clearly says, in some offense, I had a firearm on me. I was driving. I got arrested for the firearm. I had a Glock on me.
Just 1 second, I'm sorry. Deputy, could you move them to the other end? And I'm sorry, you can continue.
I had the Glock on me. I misbehaved. I was on parole at the time. I shouldn't be carrying a firearm. He didn't. And again, this could be more argument, but I just want the court to know, in my opinion, it should be guilt acknowledged. He accepted that. Aside from that, there's no corrections.
All right. Any witnesses state? Defense, any witnesses?
Yes, Judge. May I call my first witness? Sure. I'm calling Tina Williams.
Mr. Perkins? Who's next?
Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes, sir. All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record. All right, just make sure you keep your voice up so I can hear and the court reporter can hear. Yes. All right, defense, you may proceed.
What is your relationship to Charlie Perkins? And it's safe to say that you know about his life. You raised him.
Yes.
Right. And he has a son. Is this picture sticky? Picture of Charlie and his son. And Charlie's son is named Charlie Jr.
Yes.
Right. And how old is Charlie Jr.?
5.
And prior to the arrest for this case, I have asked you to get some documents to show that he was employed prior to the rest of the case, correct?
Yes.
And these are some documents regarding the staff force, temp agency.
Yes.
And these are various dates. End of 2025, there's multiple pay stubs showing that he was employed working through 2025, the end of 2025.
Yes.
Separate from that, you tried, but you couldn't print out something showing that he was working up to the day of the arrest.
Yes.
So if you have a copy of the defense attorney,
Yes. So he was being paid in my account.
And where is Charlie Jr. currently residing?
He resides in
And the other person in your household is your sister?
my
Sorry.
my daughter.
Your daughter, Charlie's sister. And you have nothing to do with this case. The facts of the case, you don't know anything about this case, the car, the firearm, you weren't there. Right. Is there anything you want this judge to know about Charlie?
Something been out, he's taking care of his son, he's been trying to do the right thing, to take care of him, be a good citizen, working.
And you know that your son has prior criminal cases? The vast majority of them are juvenile cases.
Yes.
As an adult, he only went to prison for one case. How old was he when he went to prison?
all right, now I need this set for a jury trial.
I was only like 18.
Put it on August 17th.
All right. I passed the witness.
Thank you. Once you're signed, reset.
Just a few questions. You stated that, Mr.
Court is calling
and is your daughter,
2026 CR0044753. State versus Charlie Ray Perkins. Can I have parties now?
Okay, so in living with you, do you own a firearm in your home?
No.
Did you know Mr. Perkins owned a firearm prior to this?
Mr. Perkins?
No.
And you told defense counsel you were aware of
We're
this
here
vote?
today for sentencing.
Yes. Were you aware that he was arrested for an unlawful carrying of a weapon in July of 2021?
All right, thank you. According to your plea
Do you know
board
how he got that firearm?
No, I don't.
Do you know how he got the firearm in the instant case?
No.
So you didn't have any knowledge that he possessed it?
punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 7 years in prison. There's a $1,200 fine.
And so on
To your
these
application. Have both parties had a chance to review the
do you know
PSI
where
report?
Charlie Perkins Jr.
Any
was?
objections to the PSI report?
Okay. And you told the court also that Mr. Perkins is trying to do right, is that fair? Yes, ma'am. Okay, and this involves driving trucks to his job? Yes, ma'am. But you know Mr. Perkins did not have a license, right? Yes, ma'am. And he's never had one? No. Did he ever get to operate a vehicle still? Yes. And you know that's a violation.
I did not for arguments, but it clearly says that Ms. Perkins was somebody who had to have a license. I was driving to drive a vehicle. I got arrested for the firearm. I had it left. In the sense of a vehicle is still safe in manufacture. It has tires. The engine runs. Yes. I had a license. I was at the time. I shouldn't be carrying a firearm. So he didn't look what we're for the questions. I'm going to speak more about it, but I just want people to know, in my opinion, it should be guilty.
I have questions if there are no objections. All right.
None for me.
Witnesses state. So here's the thing. Defense, any witnesses? The information that you've given me,
I'm calling Tina Williams.
it's surface level information, right? It's his criminal history. It's the driving without a license. I mean, we know we have to have a license before we get behind the wheel of the car. We know we're supposed to have insurance. Some people drive without a license. Some people drive without insurance. We all know this. But my question for you is this.
All right, you can lower your hand.
Where did he go wrong in his life? Like why is he at 18 years old committing a robbery? Because I think that's what he went to prison for. Why is he doing that at 18 years old? Did he graduate from high school? Yeah. Did he get his GED? Right. So my question is like, why did he graduate from high school? What was his family? Did nobody tell him, hey, you need to be in school? Did he drop out of school? Why did he drop out of school? What's going on? Because people will come into court and they always want to beg for mercy, right? Like I know you don't want your son to go to prison. And what I can tell you is there is nothing that you can tell me that will be wrong unless it's not the truth, right? Your testimony to me is not going to be like, aha, she said this, so he's going to prison. I'm trying to wade through everything so I can make an appropriate decision on what is appropriate in this case. Should he go to prison? Should he not go to prison? So, why did he turn out the way he is? Like, why is somebody not in high school? Why is he 18 years old and committing a robbery? This is the information I want to know, because then maybe I'll understand why is he on parole, which I'm assuming he was on parole from the robbery, and then he's driving around with a gun that obviously he knew he was not supposed to have, because the state just received testimony that he had an unlawfully carrying a weapon before. And what I can tell you in the stipulated evidence, there was more going on than just the police pulling him over. It started with a legal tint on windows. Then it turns into he's not really pulling over. Then it turns into marijuana smell in the car and somebody spraying, air freshener or something to get rid of marijuana, which somebody who knows of this has just, informed me that you can't spray Lysol to cover up marijuana because you're just going to smell marijuana and Lysol. So all of that was happening on this day. So why is he 18 years old committing a robbery? And I say committing a robbery because he pled to it. And why is he not in high school? Why are we here? You know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's the information I need. This whole thing about he has a child he needs to take care of, I think you and I know the people who've been doing the heavy lifting of taking care of his child has been you. So that's what I want to know.
Perkins, can I ask
So you said he never liked school?
School was an hour for him.
All right, and hard why? What do you mean?
Reading.
All right, so why did that happen? Did he not go to preschool? What happened? And so how did you address the issue.
The money for ADHD and learning disabilities.
All right, so did you have him tested? Does he have a learning disability? And what was that? All right, and so knowing that he had those issues, how did you address that, or the school address that with him?
He's always in the travel to do writing, and he did day-by-day.
And then this gang affiliation that I'm reading about, where does that come in? Okay, were you aware of that at all?
I was a little bit aware of it, but I'm not super sure about games.
Okay. And again, nothing that you told me is to his detriment, because this is information I need to know so I can hopefully make the right decision, okay? So thank you so much for coming down. Is there any other questions?
Yes. On the ESL report, it was just an accurate statement that, according to Mr. Perkins, he was raised by his mother and his father. However, his father was in and out of his life.
Thank the father's ring. I have questions if there are no objections. All right.
Do you think that his father in and out of his life had an effect on his education, his schooling, his upbringing? But you were always there for yourself,
right?
But he missed out on a fatherly figure. And do you know where his father's at nowadays?
We know we have to have a license before we get behind the wheel.
But not
We know we're supposed to have insurance. Some people drive without a license, some people drive without insurance. We all know that. My question for you is this.
Well, I want to say to Rose, sixth grade.
Go wrong in his life. Like, why is he 18 years old?
Well, until he was like in juvenile and
That's what he went to prison for.
to jail.
Why is he doing that at 18
And then he
years
still
old?
resided.
Did he graduate from high school? Did he get his GED? Can I ask a question for clarification?
Yes.
My question is, so are you saying, and if I'm wrong, please correct me, are you saying that from the time he was sixth grade,
Why did he drop out of school?
he was in trouble, and then juvenile stepped in?
They always want to beg for mercy, right? Like, I know you
So
want your son to go to
sixth
prison.
grade was the last grade he was in before he was in the juvenile system?
Tell me that would be right.
Sixth or seventh grade.
This is not the
Right.
truth.
And what were his issues during that time period?
Your testimony to me is not going to be like, she said this, so he's going to prison.
And did you go to juvenile court to help address those issues?
Is appropriate in this case. Should he go to prison? Should he not go to
And
prison?
his son, who is staying with you,
Why did he
is he in
turn out
school?
the way he is? Like, why is
All
somebody
right,
not
thank
in
you
high
so
school?
much. I appreciate you coming
Why is
down.
he 18 years old and committing a robbery?
If I may come a
This is the
second witness.
information I want to know, because then maybe I understand why is he on parole, which I'm assuming he was on parole from the robbery, and then he's driving around with a gun. That obviously
Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record. All right, just make sure you keep your voice up so I can hear in the court reporter can hear, okay? All right, defense?
What is your relationship to Mr. Perkins?
Then it turns into
I know it's an obvious question, but just for the record.
Then it turns into
And you understand that you were here listening to all the testimony before with your mother. All right,
freshen or something to get rid
but
of
you're not part of this case about.
somebody who knows that this has just, informed
You understand that Charlie's looking at up to 7 years prison.
marijuana because you're just going to spell
And just to distinctly clarify from your mother's testimony to what you're about to testify.
Why is he 18 years old?
Charlie Jr.
Committing a robbery. When I say committing a robbery,
You were
because he pleaded to it.
here, Charlie Jr. prior to your mother
Why is he
being
not in
in
high school?
Why?
Why are we here? You know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying?
So,
So that's the
you
information
moved
I
into your
need.
mother's house
This
recently.
whole thing about he has a child that he has to take care of.
Okay, so
you and I
prior
know
to
people
today,
doing the heavy
Charlie
lifting
Jr.
and
has
taking
been
care of his
with
child
you
and
somewhere else. Okay. And you know, because Mr. Perkins gets released, does he plan on moving in with you and your mom?
Yes, but
You said he never
we're
liked
trying to, if he gets released, I'm trying to move somewhere else so that way he can, because he helps me with my kids. So I was trying to move so that way he
So when did
can
that happen? Did he
be
like go to
safe. Because
preschool?
this time he's good with her and he doesn't know. He has too many people around him and so where he cannot function and focus on what he really needs to get done. So,
He needs to be in a better neighborhood.
yes.
Right, so
And you cannot,
does he have a learning disability? What was that?
is there anything you would just know about your brother?
All right, and so
Yes, I
he
can
had
say
those
that.
issues. How
Okay,
did
so
you
how was it,
address that with him?
me and my brother, we're not two siblings that have the same mother, same father. So as far as him growing up in life, we see and they're not.
And then this gang of
My mom, she's always working. I was taking care of my siblings. She's always been working in and out of the two jobs, so then when she can, they're working around her. But I would say he started like that after he realized the type of childhood he had. I guess I was all as far as him trying to figure life out and it's something that happened as far as my mom and I when he came to his secondary is when he spiraled out of control. And then as far as controlling him, I dressed out and went to go have a kid with my child's father and everything. So I stopped being around him and that's when he contributed for that robbery and everything. Like it's still mostly guiding him and hey, no, chill, no, or whatever. So as far as that, no. He has not had that in a baby since.
Had an effect on his education.
Honestly, because I've been back and forth having my kids. So I leave because we were both staying at my mother's house and I leave for whatever and I'm like, okay, I'm going to move over here to my child's father. And that's when I started to do a phone call and so hearing like what happened and stuff. And then I'm like, hey, what are you doing? You have to literally redirect him daily. Like if you have that around him, he's going to pick up with it because that's what he feels it's but it's not. When he's with me and he has with the kids, he is amazing. I will give him that. If he listens to me and start with me daily, I have him doing stuff because I don't have time for all of him to be over here. I have a kid. No, you can clean, you can know, you can nurse, you can do all that extra training. No. And I'm not. They're not. He was in the best people to partake in everything. But I will say, when he was the last away from me, he was in before. Like if he knows, if you have to, like honestly, force him to do it, and what were his issues during that time period? It's not too much of a. He's the worst person in the world. He's not. Don't get me wrong. He has convictions and everything. But he still needs a lot of growing as well. I will say the last time that he did get out, he had a better. He was like, oh, I'm not going with him this time. Oh, I'm not going with him. But he moved to the parent and started taking control of his life. He did start taking control over it and stop letting him and be like, hey, what you doing? Everything. I will say that.
Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear and affirm that testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth? All right. State. You can lower your hand. State your name for the record. Just make sure you keep your voice up so I can hear.
I'm 27 and he's 25.
And you stated that you were moving in with your mom, but Mr. Perkins gave probation on his
yes. I'm trying to at least better him so that way he can do what he needs to do because I have this child and it's not even just his child. He takes care of his stepdaughter, he takes care of his child, and my kids. They all have
I'm going to break down a little bit. Charlie Jr.'s 5. And how old are the
they've always, so she'll be 7, August 24th.
And you're
Mine's 8 and 4.
What are the nieces and nephews?
Yes. Yes, 8 and 4.
And do you work full-time?
Me? Yes, here and there, no.
When you just,
Yes.
okay. And when you are at work, you watch
I work during school hours. If I have to work outside of school hours, it will either go with my mother, or if he's home, then he does what we with my kids. He does.
and you realize that probation requires a lot of personal responsibility.
Sure, yes.
Okay, and that he's gonna have to step up because he needs, right?
Yes.
Right. And you also realize as his sister really want to guide him and do right by him, so he's gonna have to take it.
Yes.
Okay, so how can you assure these courts that Mr. Perkins is gonna do what he needs to do?
I know, and that's the problem. We have not fully moved into together. Like, he's always been at my mom's, and I've always been going and having my kids. But as far as assuring him, it's the first thing I know, because he knows his kids, and he knows my kids. He knows what I allow, what I don't allow. So as far as all that, he knows I'm very secure with my kids. I don't allow any of that around my kids. Because at the end of the day, my kids are in my care. My kids are in jeopardy of your stuff. So, I mean,
And then do you know your mother as a good role model for trying to do it?
As far as, yes, and while he's in his presence, yes, he makes sure he don't fuss around him, he makes sure nothing, like, he goes and takes him places and does everything. He puts the kids in football, he takes them, go get ice cream, take them, so, but as far as his prior conviction, honestly, his dad probably, his child wouldn't probably know that he had no, if he was, honestly, I'm pretty sure.
So it's your testimony that you believe Mr. Perkins is a good role model for trafficking?
I do.
Okay, and how do you reconcile him being a good role model for trafficking but still engaging?
I wouldn't say he still engages in criminal activity. I do understand that he did have a gun prior to him getting pulled over. How did he get that? That's what I don't know. But at the same time, I have been back and forth and have not been around him daily. So that's what I do not know.
And would it surprise you to learn that Mr. Perkins was also arrested with having marijuana in his possession?
I did not know that at all.
Okay, and do you know Mr. Perkins has a driver's license?
Oh no, he does not have a driver's license. And I will say that fell to being in and out of the system. Like, he'll get out and then other things will happen and then he'll go back in. So as far as him actually being stable, I'm for sure he will go get that. I'm sure.
Do you know Mr. Perkins to operate motor vehicles and his son and children?
Oh no, I don't let him drive for my kids. I'm for sure, I do not let him drive for my kids, his kids. No.
But you're not around 24/7?
I am around my kids, but as far as when my kids get left with my mother, because he's not allowed to drive my kids, they stay with her. But he does not drive around his kids, my kids. If they want to go somewhere, we can all go. And that's how I do it with him. You can ask him for himself. He does not drive my kids or his kids.
No follow-up.
All right, thank you so much for giving me some insight. Thank you.
Last witness.
Yes.
Charlie Perkins.
Do you want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record. All right, and before we begin with questioning, here's the thing. I know that people say they have bad childhoods, their father's not in their life, maybe their mom's not in their life. But, you know what I always want to know? At what age do we reach when all of our decisions are our decisions, and it's not because my father wasn't around? No, I'm just putting that out there. So now when questions are asked, we'll see where we go, okay? All right, you may proceed.
Mr. Perkins, you're telling the court and the PSI officer that you were driving and you had a firearm in the vehicle, correct? Where it says guilt minimalized, guilt declined to discuss and guilt acknowledged, there's a mark on guilt minimalized, you see that? But you're saying that you in the underlying date, you were driving, you had a firearm, you had a Glock on you, you did this, you misbehaved, you're on parole, you shouldn't be carrying a firearm.
I work during school hours.
I believe your mother said that the last grade you attended was your 6th grade, but I believe it was your 9th grade. And you didn't know this until the PSI came out, but you have a 2nd grade reading level, correct?
Is it comprehension?
And you were in special education classes while you were in school. Make sure you speak loud. When you were out of parole, that was around the end of 2024. So from January 2022 to pretty much the entire 2024, you were in prison. Maybe early January 2025, you were on parole. And from that time until you were arrested, you had what you were employed. During the time you were on parole, you were a victim of a assault deadly weapon. You were shot. Do you know if the person was ever arrested for that offense? You were taken to a hospital for the shooting. Law enforcement never followed up with you.
And I'm sorry, when would this have been, counsel?
8 months prior to February 2020.
As far as his prior conviction,
So about 8 months prior to February 2026.
I mean, his child,
And you know that as a convicted felon, you cannot possess firearms. On parole, you cannot possess firearms. On probation, you cannot possess firearms. Even if you had waited out the parole or discharge, there's a 5-year period where you still cannot possess firearms. You understand that? The area you were at where you're shot, the area where you associate with, you don't want your son growing up and being around the same area as you threatened. You want your son to have a better life than you. The prior gun case the state had referenced an unlawful carry weapon, that was a misdemeanor unlawful carry weapon in 2021, correct? So you were not a convicted felon until January 2022? Do you understand the judge can sentence you up to anywhere from 2 years to 7 years prison? And you're asking the judge to give you probation? Is there anything you want to tell the judge and ask him to ask you for considering probation?
Yes, I know I was on parole. I was basically done. It was an accident. I did misrolled. I got shot. So I rejected the protection. I wanted to keep it. I wanted protection. I just can't get out. I was trying to get probation on the other. So I could get first move. I tell you all the time. I was taking my son like out, put him in school, put him in football. I was going to have to do this. I was going to have to carry a gun. I was
Thank you so much for giving me some insight.
Get a job, work, do what I do. Nobody see my car. Doing that's it. So I don't see no my cars. I'll get shot.
Do you want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear the testimony you give is the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you
In the
God?
PSI, there's some mention that
You can
you haven't been associated with the
name for the
gang
record.
since 2020.
And before we begin with questioning, here's some things. I know that people say they have bad childhoods, their father's not in their life, maybe their mom's not in their life.
On the offense state, why did it take you so long? Or I guess not so long. Why were you leaving and didn't read?
I got you from when I got to that girl right there, I could feel right there.
My father wasn't around.
And then when the officer approached to report a state that he's not in there, do you remember reading that?
Now when the questions were asked.
Did you spray your question?
I was bad for hours, kept my car clean. Well, I know I carry the gun, so I'm like, I'm gonna keep it clean. You know, so I ain't spraying the info, so I didn't like that. I'm spraying myself, spray somebody, I ain't spraying them.
Okay, and were you able to detect the scent of marijuana yourself in the vehicle? Okay, and were you surprised, I guess, when the officer did find marijuana in the car?
Yeah, it was like less in the ground. I be having people in my car, so less in the ground. It was like less in the ground.
So in your testimony, that wasn't the marijuana in your possession was not yours?
It was like less in the ground, like on the floor, instead of just scraped it up. It was like that. It was like, well, it's weed like that in my car.
Okay, and whose car was that?
It was a Mazda, my man.
Okay, and how did you get that?
I was working at a job. I saved my money, I bought me a car. Send the car, no license. Bought me a car. I needed to get to work and stuff.
Okay, so even though you know you don't possess a license, you thought the best decision was to get a car so you could get to work. Is that fair?
Well, I got insurance, but I was trying to get my license, but I just never went around to get to work and stuff.
Okay, and how did you get the firearm under the state compensation?
I got it. I was kept going on to my petition.
Yeah, but my question is, how did you get it?
I got it, I brought it up. Spent some of my money. I take money and stuff like that.
Who did you buy it from?
We don't like that.
Okay, so do you remember in the stipulations, right, when the officer ran the gun, it was returned to the seller?
I still don't know about that.
Did you purchase the gun from someone and you didn't know the whereabouts? Is that fair to say? Okay, and on direct, you testified that you know you're not supposed to possess a firearm, correct? So how can you reassure the court that this time is going to be any different than the past?
But if I was to get probation or something like that, I move out San Antonio, just do right. I ain't got no people trying to kill me, and then like I ain't got to find my bag. I know I ain't gonna carry my gun because I ain't in my San Antonio, I ain't in my city. So I'm gonna do what I need to do, take care of myself, do what I gotta do.
And I'm sorry, when
Where was Charlie Jr. on this topic?
And
then on the June 5th, 2025 robbery date where you were getaway driver, where was Charlie Jr.?
He wasn't even born yet.
2022?
I don't think he was born yet.
You know that as a convicted felon, you can
I don't really remember. He probably was born. He probably at my baby mom's house or like his mother's house or something like
cannot possess firearms. Even if you had waited out the parole or discharge, there's a 5-year period where you still cannot possess. Yes. The robbery date was 2020, June 2020, so technically your son wasn't born yet in June 2020. But when you were associated with getting your son growing up and being, but when you were sentenced, it was January 18, 2022, where your son had been born. Can you? No further questions.
all right.
Any
other witnesses?
No other witnesses.
State any witnesses?
That was a misdemeanor.
All right. The court will hear argument. State.
Judge, we ask that you deny applications for deferred information and sentence to 7 years in prison. Mr. Perkins, although I will concede that he admits to possessing a firearm and operating the vehicle purchase, he continues to engage in criminal activity. I don't think he would be a good candidate for probation because his mom and his sister, he even states that he intends to reside with people that he has been with when he gets into his prior, or when he got into his prior instances of shot. So I don't think that's a good environment for him, and I don't think that he will be successful. He does have a prior NTR, and he's ultimately removed because he played true to the number 1 UCW, and although that UCW date occurred prior to him being convicted on the robbery, he's still possessing guns. That's the issue. So boiling it down, Judge, I know he's aware that he's not supposed to possess these guns, but he continues to violate them and he still thinks he's going to.
All right, Mr. Burns.
Judge, Priors that he's had, as in the quote, is one conviction. He has been associated with a lot of juvenile cases that I would hope that he wouldn't use a juvenile against him. The juvenile cases appears to all be misdemeanors. I know that robbery is a serious felony. He has about 4 months left on parole. He has a parole or he can't get out. He never got a GED. He has a second grade reading, writing skills level. There was mention of a ISF, cognitive behavior, MRT. He's willing to go inpatient, and I would like it if you could order him to get a GED also, to improve his job skills. He knows that he can't have a gun, he can't have a gun for protection. He doesn't want his son to be in the same area and neighborhood that he grew up. He wants to take his son and go outside San Antonio. The only investigation, to my knowledge, that happened with him being shot was the law enforcement seized his phone to see if there's any information that they can get from the phone, but they never gave him back the phone. There's been no follow-up where he was shot. He went to a hospital, they gave him some pills. They never gave him surgery. He still has a bullet in his back. He didn't have to go through rehabilitation.
Wait a minute, so he went to the hospital
for 2 days.
For 2 days.
And they gave him pills and
they didn't perform surgery, didn't remove the bullet.
And they didn't investigate who shot him, but they kept his phone. We can't make excuses about his father not being in his life, his education.
So, do you know personally that he went to the hospital and they just gave him tablets, or is this just through your client?
Through my client, in interviewing him before the PSI. But there's no case where he's listed as a victim. The only case he has is this case here that the state has. We're asking for probation, 7 years probation. I think a structured environment would help.
Is there any proof that he filed a report and was shot?
I don't think that we're just from someone, and you didn't know the whereabouts of okay, and
well, let's Google.
You know you're supposed to possess a firearm, correct? So how can you reassure the court?
And was that before this offense? No. My question is, this shooting, was that before this offense?
I'm sorry,
there was Charlie Jr. on this offense. And then on the June 5th, 2025 robbery date where you were...
If you all want to step back and see if you all can find that, and then...
Yes, Judge.
And who knows? Maybe the state may decide something else. I don't know. All right, who's next? Anyone else ready?
Yes. Look on page 9.
Any other questions?
Yes.
Smith?
The robbery date was 2020, June 2020, so technically he was enrolled in June 2020.
All right, who's next?
Page 1 put up.
When you were sentenced, it was January 18, 2022. When you were
Jahar?
Jahir. He's in custody.
No, this is... I did. All right. The court will hear argument. All right, so what is the update on this?
Yes, Your Honor. So she was incompetent and incompetent. We had a setting at the last court date, and we had not gotten an offer yet. My understanding was the state was trying to reach out to CW and just different things like that. We did get an offer today, Judge, but we would like to reset it for 2 weeks for me to talk to the client a little bit more and to see if the state can actually get a hold of their complaining witness prior to taking a plea on the case. Now, there are 2 cases, Judge. There's the family violence from the CTD, but I think the more pressing case is going to be the family violence case, deciding with the state being able to make contact with their complaining witness or not. I do believe that I have all the discovery in both cases, and I think we're more than likely going to work it out, but I'm giving the state an opportunity to confirm whether or not they can actually convict their victim.
All right, so here's the thing. As all of the parties know, when someone has mental health issues, when they're restored to competency and brought back to the Bexar County Jail, usually will be compensated. So, we're coming back on Thursday.
Okay, Judge.
All right, so recall this for Thursday.
And I'm sorry, Judge, one more thing for the record, and for you, Judge, is we did do the mental health referral at the last setting, and that's why we wanted to see if she was going to get accepted into that program. From my understanding, I got an email that she did not want to participate in that program, and so that's why they did not accept her into the program. But I think we can, again, ultimately, if the state can get a little bit of victim, we can work it out. If they can't, then they have to make a decision on that.
All right, so we're coming back, Norma, on August 6th, and that's your plea deadline date. Okay, thank you.
Also improve his job skills. He knows that he can't have a gun, he can't have gun for protection. He doesn't want his son to be in the same area and neighborhood that he grew up. He wants to take his son and go outside San Antonio. The only investigation, to my knowledge, that happened with him being shot was the law enforcement seized his phone.
All right, anyone else ready?
If there's any information that they can get from the phone, but they never gave him the phone. There's been no follow-up where he was shot. He went to a hospital to give him some pills. They never gave him surgery. He still has a bullet in his back. He didn't have to go through rehabilitation.
Wait a minute, so he went to the hospital
for 2 days.
For 2 days.
And they gave him pills and
He didn't perform surgery, didn't remove the bullet.
And they didn't investigate who shot him, but they kept his phone. We can't make excuses about his problem not being in his life, his education.
So, do you know personally that he went to the hospital and they just gave him tablets, or is this just through your client?
Through my client, in interviewing him before the PSI. There's no case where he's listed as a victim. The only case he has is this case here that the state has. We're asking for probation, 7 years probation. I think a structured environment would help.
Is there any proof that he filed a report and was shot?
I don't know. And you didn't know the whereabouts of
Well, let's Google. And was that Roma? Young girl, do you have the update on the sanitary evaluation? No. My question is, this shooting, was that before this Athens?
I'm sorry, there was Chinese Union on this also.
Because it shows that it's been received, that it's been given to attorney. So if you all want to step back and see if you all can find that, and then and who knows? Maybe there's William James may decide something else. I don't know. All right, if you're William James, you need to be on the second row. Anyone else ready?
Yes. Look on page 9.
All right, counsel, any update? Yes.
I need to cancel out somehow to. There it goes. Okay. I haven't shown the state.
Oh, you just showed them, yes.
To hear, yes, to hear. In custody.
No, this is. So what is the update on this?
Yes, Your Honor. So
Okay. All right, so you've got attorney can come here so we can settle with them.
we had a study at the last court date, and we had not gone in offer yet. My understanding is the state was trying to reach out to CW and just different things like that. We did did get an offer today, Judge, but we would like to reset it for 2 weeks for me to talk to the client a little bit more and to see if the state can actually get a hold of their complaining witness prior to taking a plea on the case. Now, there are 2 cases, Judge. There's one with family violence, one with CTD, but I think the more pressing case is going to be the family violence case, deciding with the state being able to make contact with their complaining witness or not. I do believe that I have all of discovery in both cases.
All right, 811 is fine.
I think we're able to work it out.
Yes, just a second, counsel. Deshaun Lewis? All right, so here's the thing. As all of the parties know, when someone has mental health issues, when they're restored to competency and brought back to the Bexar County Jail, usually will be compensated. Your attorney is in federal custody. Have you ever had any contact with him?
Okay, Judge.
All right, so recall this for Thursday. All right, so are you employed?
One more thing for the record.
All right, so we're going to bring you back on August 11th, and your attorney will be here, okay? Once you sign the reset form, you'll be excused. You're welcome.
Into that program. From my understanding, I got an email that she did not want to participate in that program, and so that's why they did not accept her into the program.
All right, the parties on Perkins?
Again, ultimately, if the state can get a hold of their victim, we can.
And if I may show you my client's sister's phone. This is a photograph taken September 12th, 2025, and you can swipe it to the right.
Well, I can see.
And it's September 12th, and I'll swipe it. There's a few pictures. And that date, September 12th, lines up with the KSAT news article from September 12th, 2025, where a man is dead after double shooting near East Side Sports Bar. It was a Vibe Sports Bar. Charlie Seconds was shot in the leg, into the leg, the butt, and the bullet in his back.
And what day of the week was that? Do we know?
Like in September 12th, 2025. Surgery. He still has back.
Friday? And does anybody know what time that was? Oh, okay, we'll have a report. Are you okay to submit? Yes.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
We can't make excuses about it.
All right, anyone else ready?
So, do you know personally?
Hector Carino.
He went to the hospital and they just gave him
come forward.
Just through your client.
Through my client, in interviewing him before PSI. But there's no case where he's looking.
All right, who's the prosecutor?
Case he has this case here that the state has.
All right. Today is pre-deadline date. Have y'all reached an agreement or no?
So, Your Honor, I have an additional issue.
Yes.
My computer cracked about a month ago. I recovered the data last Monday afternoon. I've been just trying to catch up. I'm not sure if I have his discovery yet, because I've noticed that some of my discovery, about half of it, is inaccessible. I would beg the court for just a little bit more time to make sure I have all the discovery.
All right, Norma, set this for a pre-deadline date and jury trial date on August 18th.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you so much, Judge.
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Well, pre-deadline date and jury trial. Because it shows that it's been received. That it's been given to a attorney, so.
Step back and see if I can find out.
And who else? Maybe there's William James.
Decide something else? I don't know.
All right, if you're William James, you need to be on the second row.
Anyone else ready?
Yes. Look on page 9.
All right, counsel, any update?
I need to cancel out somehow to. I haven't told the state.
Just shut down. Yes.
To here. In custody.
And now make sure that Mr. Carino is brought over breast for trial. Attorney can come here so we can sign. That is Hector Carino for August 18th. You're welcome.
Right behind you, Brad. Just different things like that. We did get an offer today, Judge. We would like to reset it for 2 weeks for me to talk to the client a little bit more and to see if the state can actually get a hold of their complaining witness prior to taking a plea on the case. Now, there are 2 cases, Judge. There's one with family violence on the CTD, but I think the most pressing case is going to be the family violence case, deciding with the state being able to contact with their complaining witness for that. I do believe that we will discovery of both cases.
All right, 811 is fine. Yes, just a second, Counsel. Deshaun Lewis. All right, so here's the thing. As all of the parties know, when someone has mental health issues, when they're restored to competency and brought back to the Bexar County Jail, usually will be all right. Your attorney is in federal custody. Have you ever had any contact with him?
Okay, Judge.
All right, so recall this. All right, so are you employed? George Dunbar, where did he go? Back on August 11th. And was you outside with his client? Once you signed a reset form, you'll be excused. You're welcome.
From my understanding, I got an email that she did not want to participate in that program.
All right, who else is ready? All right, the parties, Perkins. All right, Valerie Campion.
Yes. Sister's phone is not here. This is a photograph taken September 12th, 2020.
Has a warrant already been issued for her?
Well, I can see.
There might be one case that doesn't have a warrant.
There's a P for
All
jurors.
right.
And that date, September 12th, lines up with the KSAT news article from September 12th, 2025. Where a man is dead after double shooting near East Side.
All right, we'll call them out, and then whatever case doesn't have a warrant on it, will probably result in a warrant being issued.
Can I ask the clerk for some consideration? She's been in contact with my office
Do we know?
today or on Friday. I was out last week, Your Honor, but I know that we're actively trying to resolve these. So maybe if we can hold them in abeyance for just a few days, maybe.
And does anybody, this has been on the docket too many times. So, I'll give her till 11:30, otherwise we'll call in the case. Okay, we'll have a report. So do you want to wait till 11:30?
No, you're right.
All right, the court is calling 2026 CR 008282, 2025 CR 003573, 2025 CR 007085, 2025 CR 009391, 2025 CR 009393, State versus Valerie Marie Campion. Can I have parties announced? All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 10:46 a.m. Deputy Lord, did you make an announcement? All right, defense, have you had any contact with your client?
We have at our office, Your Honor. She's actively trying to resolve these warrants. She does know about the setting today, Your Honor.
State? All right, the court will issue a judge's warrant in each cause number and remain your client without one. Thank you. All right, Norma, set this for a plea deadline date and jury trial date on August 18th.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you so much, Judge.
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Well, plea deadline date and jury trial. All right, Adrian Perez.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. So you'll have your client come down? That it's been given to attorney. And what is your client's name? William James.
1 second. Yeah, Dominic.
All right, Dominic Smith. If you're William James, you need to let me see what page he is on. Anyone else ready?
Page 9.
Thank you. All right, counsel. All right, are y'all proceeding with the motion to revoke? All right, could I see the MTR, please, on Dominic Smith?
on how to.
Thank you.
Editor on the state.
Just show them, yes.
And now we'll make sure that Mr. Carino is brought over dressed for trial.
Attorney can come here so we can sign up.
That is Hector Carino for August 18th, right? This should be pretty straightforward. So, what we can do is we can recall this for this Thursday, or we can recall it for next Thursday.
I'm sorry?
Is Thursday a good day for you, counsel?
My client is asking for this Thursday, but it's not a great day for me. But next Thursday, I'm expecting to be in a murder trial. So is a court available this Friday?
No. We can do it on Monday. Is Monday not good for you?
I'm expecting to be in trial Monday.
Okay, starting Monday.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let me ask you this. So you are able to do it on Fridays then?
I can, yes, I could be here first.
Attorneys in federal custody. Have you ever had any?
I can't imagine that it would take very long.
So recall this for
Friday or no? Is that good for you, State? Because we can move it to a different day. It can be in 2 weeks instead of Friday.
Once you sign the receipt, you will excuse.
All right, now we recall this for Friday. All right, we'll see you back on Friday. And that will get contested to probation. Yes. All right, Valerie Campion. Has a warrant already been issued for her?
There's a peak for jurors. And that date, September 12th, lines up with the KSAT news article from September 12th, 2025, where a man is dead after double shooting northeast side.
All right, we'll call them out, and then whatever case doesn't have a warrant on it, will probably result in a warrant being issued.
Can I ask the clerk for some consideration? She's been in contact with my office today or on Friday. I was out last week, Johnny, but I know that we're actively trying to resolve these. So maybe we can hold them in abeyance for just a few days, maybe.
Yeah, this has been on the docket too many times. So, I'll give her till 11:30, otherwise we'll call in the case.
So we'll have a report.
So do you want to wait till 11:30?
No, you're right.
All right, the court is calling 2026 CR 0088282, 2025 CR 003573, 2025 CR 007085, 2025 CR 009391, 2025 CR 009393, State versus Valerie Marie Campion. Can I have parties announced? All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. and is now. Where's James Toshi? Deputy Lord, could you make an announcement? All right, can you have him come back? Have you had any contact with your client?
We have at our office, Your Honor. She's actively trying to resolve these warrants. She does know about the setting today, Your Honor.
State. All right, anyone else ready? All right, who is your judge's warrant in each house number will remain your client without. Pomerantz? Jonathan Pomerantz. All right, Norma. Morning.
Plea deadline date and jury trial date on August 18th.
Hello.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, we're here for trial also? Both sides are ready.
Oh, you ready? Okay.
Plea deadline date and jury trial.
Norma, can I have a jury trial up here, please? A jury? You'll have your client come down. Have him come up at 11:30. All right, thank you.
12:30?
Yes.
Thank you.
Have the jury up. To be up here. Thank you.
1 second. Yeah, Dominic.
All right, Dominic Smith. Let's see what page he is on.
Page 9.
Thank you.
All right, are y'all proceeding with the motion to revoke? All right, could I see the MTR, please, on Dominique Smith?
Yes.
Thank you. Roger Anthony, has it been brought up yet? Anyone else ready? Make sure that Mr. Carino is brought over dressed for trial. Garrett Dillon. That is Hector Carino. I always see pictures of your travelers, and I was like, oh, to be there. What you can do is we can recall this for this course, or we can recall it.
You know, Sad Boston Masters would do that. Couldn't pass it up.
Oh, you can.
Took my 3 kids and.
I'm sorry?
Awesome. I saw you holding the fish.
Oh, yes. I love the fish. I brought it all back. You know, that's always funny because I lay ice packs in there and I know when there's a kind of looks like you're smoking drugs. It's just fish, I promise.
I would run to the airport. I know her. I know she wouldn't do that. It's just fish. We can do it. Let's take it out and grill it. So I'm assuming you all don't clean it there.
Well, sometimes we do it. We usually leave the heads on and bring them back.
So what type of fish did you catch?
Yellowtail snapper.
So you are able to do it on
snapper, triggerfish,
Yes, I could be here.
some black snapper. A parrotfish, which apparently is stinking there.
I can't imagine that would take long.
It was a lot of fun.
Probably or no? Is that good for you to stay? Because we can move it to
School starts earlier and earlier every year, and so I always feel like I'm going to stop and like, you know what? I'll just do 15 minutes this week.
So have you ever seen the movie The Incredible Mr. Limpet? You know what I'm talking about. So anyway, Don Knotts gets turned into a fish.
And I've seen it when I was a child.
So my question is, did you just catch Don Knotts? How do you know? Did he have the little hat on?
Is it the one where they train him to find submarines?
Yes.
Okay.
And he was the deputy in Fanny Griffith show, right?
Yes. But one of my favorite movies he did was The Ghost and Mr. Chicken. That was an awesome movie. Hopefully you have seen it. Maybe you're too young. I don't know. All right, let me see. All right, so where are we on this case with discovery, with plea offers? Where are we?
I believe all discovery is confirmed by the state of defense. However, I think there are some messages that defense is going to be confirmed by us. And then may help to resolve the case.
All right, Norma. Set this for a plea deadline date in 3 weeks. You all need to confer our docket.
On the docket too many times.
I'll give it till 11:30. All right, August 24th.
Thank you.
All right, if you find a little hat in there, you will know it was the Incredible Mr. Limpet.
My children watch that tonight.
Have a good one. So you have a case that's set for trial tomorrow, but the state has filed a dismissal. Do you have any objections to the dismissal?
No objections.
2025
We are. It's for further investigation.
I appreciate you asking.
Oh, no, everybody should ask. You know,
Had I told you I objected, you said it?
we would have had a hearing on it. Where's James Toshi? No, there were some attorneys. They had a capital murder, and I had denied the state's motion for continuance. And then the state files a motion to dismiss. I'm like, offense, do you have any objections? They're like,
I rejected that.
they did not. No.
Rejected judge.
And then they came back, because I was like, I always tell people, according to the code, judges don't have to sign dismissals. Judges, it's like completely up to the judge whether.
Picked it up, and I remember like the verbiage about it being ministerial. I don't know about whether there's discretion there. But I have been in that spot where I have objected to it. That it's not this. But no, there's a method of the madness.
How would you
Thank you.
One second.
All right, Dominic. Let's see what page he is on.
Page 9.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else ready?
Yes, Daryl King, page 6 of the bottom.
Daryl King.
Can I sit down to you, please?
Good morning, King. Come forward, please.
Roger Anthony, has it been brought up yet?
Well, I've appointed on the 12th of July. In one case I found this morning that I am actually appointed on 2 cases, same incident.
Anyone else ready?
I was like kidnapping the others
All right, Norma. All right, Norma, I need a 30-day reset for discovery.
Hector Carino.
Number 3rd.
Okay, I always see pictures of
All right, thank you, Council.
All right, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Yes,
You too. Oh, I'm sorry, sir, do you have any questions? All right, thank you.
You know, master's degree to
Oh, you can.
took my 3 kids and
I'm sorry?
Awesome. I saw you holding the fish.
oh yes, I love the fish. I brought it all back. You know, that's always funny because I put my ice packs in there and
This Thursday,
I know when there's a time looks like you're smoking drugs.
I'm expected to be in a murder trial.
It's just fish, I promise.
I would run to the airport. I know her. I know she wouldn't do that. It's just fish. We can go on. Let's take it out and grill it. So I'm assuming you all don't clean it there.
Sometimes we do it.
Anyone else ready?
Rodriguez, page 4, 5.
So what type of fish?
My name is
Good morning, how's it going? Good. Okay. Lucette Rodriguez?
a parrot fish, which apparently was stinking there. Just, it was awesome.
They are just recalling things left and right. Lettuce being recalled. Now there's some kind of, oh, you're talking about bacon Taco Bells. Well, they're not recalling those. You're talking about the DX.
The incredible Mr.
Like, oh, well, maybe, yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Okay, so on this one, she has this case that's been indicted, and she has another case that has not been indicted.
Right, so just kind of Brandon and I were speaking, just kind of catching up. So Ms. Rodriguez came to court last Monday, was on bond and got arrested on a warrant, an at-large case. Ms. Arlene Gay has been appointed to that case, and is speaking to Brandon this morning. You know, obviously he needs time before to look at the whole picture. In the interest of efficiency, I would ask that one lawyer be appointed to both cases.
Norma, can you put Ms. Lupton on each of these cases?
Plea offers were.
And then have any objection to that?
And if we could get this reset, just so Brandon can look at the warrant. That'd be great.
All right. Norma, can you recall this on September 3rd? And then if you all have information beforehand or your attorney wants to come back before then, she can let the court know and we'll put it on the docket.
All right, thanks so much, Judge. Appreciate it. Have a good day.
You too.
Do you want to say
Sign a little pact. And here you will know, this is the incredible Mr. Lifford.
My children watch that tonight.
Have a good one. So you have a case.
All right, anyone else ready?
Tomorrow, but the state has filed a dismissal. Do you have any objections to the dismissal?
Sign in agenda.
2025 CR 009.
All right, what's happening on Yandell?
Judge,
Ms. Yandell, if you'll come forward, please. So what's the,
we got, this is what I was just talking to the state about, and I guess we're a little uncertain about some of the procedures. So,
was she declared insane?
at the time of the office, they said the doctor did say that she believes that she was. So, the disagreement we're having is, because I said it was not guilty by reason of insanity, whether it's plea or trial.
No, it's, what ends up happening is that if somebody's found deemed to be insane at the time of the offense, you can either enter a plea if both parties agree to the doctor's findings, and then she will enter a plea. You'll be placed on a form of probation. And whatever the range of punishment is for your offense, that's how long you'll be under supervision. So if, for example, let's just say it were a robbery case, and I know your case is not a robbery. If you were deemed to be insane at the time of the offense, well, the range of punishment for robbery is 2 to 20 years, so you'll be supervised for up to 20 years. But it won't be through this court, it'll be through the magistrate's court. And the magistrate's court will hear her plea.
And Judge, so this is where our disagreement is, because the state is stating to me that they believe that she is automatically committed to the state hospital, and I say I don't believe that's accurate. I believe that the court and the judge makes a determination on how it wants to.
Well, what I can tell you is, according to the law, if it's a violent offense, you are supposed to be committed to an institution. However, if you're already under medical care, and the judge, through testimony from experts, determine that you're not a danger, then they may decide not to place you in an institution.
All right, Norma.
So it's completely up to what the doctor says. Legally, according to the code, if it's a violent offense, you're supposed to go into an inpatient facility. But in your case, if there's a doctor who says something otherwise, then you may not end up going to an inpatient facility. It just depends on whatever the testimony is going to be and whether they make a determination on her med compliance.
Sure, and it's because obviously I haven't done a lot of these, but I just my position is that I don't think it's just automatic that she has to go into the state hospital. So, but I hear what you're saying. You're saying if there's time of violence.
Yes.
But
I'm seeing people that have been found not guilty by reason of insanity, and safeguards are in place and they're not placed in the institution to begin with, but it just really depends on the testimony. But what I can tell you is, according to the code, inpatient is the default.
And so I think at this time, Your Honor, what we want to do is we want to go ahead and get a trial setting for this, and then I will communicate with Judge Rodriguez over there about this more, and then
they're just recounting things
trial setting, and then
no, let's do it this way. Let's refer it to magistrate's court to see if there's going to be any objections to the insanity plea. Then you can discover from the doctor down there whether or not they would seek to place her in an institution, because if they're not seeking to place her in an institution, then this may be all for naught. So Norma, if you can transfer this to the magistrate's court for a hearing on the NGRI. And can you find out when they're able to do that so we can just give her the setting date? All right. Just have a seat and we'll get a date for you, okay? All right, thank you.
In the interest of efficiency, I would ask that one lawyer be appointed to look at this.
Norma, can you put Ms. Lupton on each of these cases? Plea offer as well. And then have any objection to that?
And if we could get this reset, just so that we can look at the warrant.
All right. Sure. Norma, can you recall this?
Deputy Laura, I don't know what's wrong with mosquitoes. They have changed. They're bigger. I was working in the garden, and I end up with so many welts. I thought I was going to OD on Benadryl, because I had to take 2 Benadryl tablets. It doesn't smell great. And then my skin is very sensitive. So then I have to go in once I saw the welts, right? So I take my Benadryl, and then I put Benadryl cream on. Do you know it took about 3 hours for it to go away? Put it down.
Mr. Anthony Rogers.
All right. Anthony Rogers? Are you Mr. Rogers? All right. Your attorney is in federal court, so they won't be here today. So we are going to recall you, and we are going to, Norma, are we going to recall you for Thursday? All right, we're going to recall you for Thursday. All right, thank you. what ends up happening is that if somebody's found deemed to be insane at the time of the offense, you can either enter a plea if both parties agree to the doctor's findings, and then she will enter a plea. You'll be placed on a form of probation. And whatever the range of punishment is for your offense,
Well, already on,
under supervision.
yes.
So if, for example, let's just say it were a robbery case, and I know your case is not a robbery, if you were deemed to be insane at the time of the offense, well, the range of punishment for robbery is 2 to 20 years.
All right, we're back on the record in 2026 CR 04753, State versus Charlie Perkins. Can I have parties re-announced for the record, please? All right, so, State, did you have a chance to review the testimony
and the judge makes a determination on how.
Well, what I can tell you is, according to the law,
my computer's doing something
if
crazy.
it's a violent offense.
All right, State, did you have a chance to review any independent evidence on whether or not the defendant was previously shot before this incident?
Yes, Judge, I did ascertain if this was for the incident reference and how marketing solutions would have run for purposes of this hearing. So it's wish to review it as well. I also called the homicide unit to see if it was an open pending case with them, and they said it was, and I should actively provide
in your case, if there's a doctor who says something
at this time, they would move to next stages of S1 for the purposes of this.
I reviewed it, I have a copy, no objection.
And whether they make a determination on her net compliance.
And while you read it, if I could just tell you the way it reads. Just a drive by where it looks like they wait for one person to leave. That person is not Charlie. The person who is in front of Charlie is leaving is a person who was shot. Just like looks like Charlie is behind him, so Charlie is shot. So it's not as if they're trying to shoot Charlie. The target was someone else.
They're not placed in the institution to begin with. But what I can tell you is, according to the code,
all right.
will be fault.
So, State, does that change your offer or no? All right, then. And defense your argument.
I know that continuation where I left off. We're asking for probation, Judge. He doesn't want to be in the same neighborhood, the same area, the same association. He wants to claim not specifically for himself, it's for his son. He wants to be in a new city. We ask if you grant probation 7 years.
To place her in the institution, because if they're not
He can put the highest underlying sentence. He understands that if he messes up, he's looking at 7 years prison. He was reporting to parole. It's not as if he absconded and was picked up on this, and then there was a parole warrant. He was actually literally driving to his parole officer to report. He just finished his shift. He's going to make his appointments. He's going to appear on time. We ask you to grant the probation, and if he does get the residence change with his mom and sister, we would ask probation transfer.
All right. I don't think you would be a good candidate for probation. The court is going to find you guilty. The court is going to sentence you to 2 years in prison, give you credit for each time served. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors, and there's a $0 fine, and the court will recommend the therapeutic community. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. So, Mr. Perkins, I understand that sometimes our life goes off track. Maybe we don't have great parents or something else. I understand when you leave prison and beat you down. I know how difficult it is to get your license and to get legal documents when you just come from prison or just come from the foster care system. One of the reasons why I gave you the minimum is because of the shooting.
right? And I understand that maybe you need to protect yourself, or you feel you need to protect yourself, but, I mean, you're not allowed to possess weapons, okay? So when you are released, please do better. And if you give me his case number, I'll ask that it run concurrent with the parole.
Yes, Judge. There is
yes. Okay, I'm sorry. DC. Yes.
The range of punishment is for your already
8537C. All right, so this will run concurrent with 2020 CR 8537C.
if you were deemed to be insane at the time of the
I may have one request.
Yes.
For his biological son,
back on the record in 2026.
the family does video visits to the son.
I know it's just no unsupervised contact, so they can have any type of visitation. But I will tell you this, the day of that shooting, what time of day was that?
All right.
See, you should have been with your son.
Do you have a chance to review?
All right? Make better decisions, okay? All right, good luck to you. And while you're in custody, try to get your GED. If you can't get your GED, there are plenty of opportunities if they allow you to do it. I don't know if they'll allow you to do it with your affiliations, but there are plenty of
The defendant was previously shot.
opportunities for picking up a trade. One of my former clients, mind you, they were in prison for murder. I ended up representing them on their parole hearings, and guess what? Their trade is welding, and you can make a lot of money at welding. Now he's got his life back on track, and you would think, you go to prison for murder, you can't come back from that, right? But he got all of his legal documents, and he also got his degree in trade certification in welding. And then somebody who just graduated not too long ago from felony drug court, criminal history, and guess what? People said it couldn't be done, but they are now an attorney, and they handle civil rights issues. All right, so you still have a chance to be in your son's life, but don't bring this nonsense into your son's life, okay? All right, good luck to you. You're welcome.
Just like looks like Charlie was behind him, so Charlie was shot.
All right.
So it's not as if they're
And it'll be in their courtroom, right? All right, so you're going to be set in the magistrate's court on August 20th at 2:30. They'll give you, Norman will give you a reset file.
Okay, yeah, they usually email also.
So, State, does that change your offer or no?
All right, then, and defense your argument.
I know that continuation where I left off, we're asking for probation, Judge. He doesn't want to be...
And then Norma, since they're going to be set there on August 20th,
It's for his son. He wants to be in a new city. We ask if you...
set it here.
7 years.
I know that August 21st is a Friday, but set it here for August 21st. And then, counsel, if everything works out down there, just come back and let us know. Okay. I don't want her to not have a court date if something doesn't go right down there.
He was actually literally driving to his court office to he just finished his shift. He's going to make his appointments. He's going to appear on time. We ask you to have the probation, and if he does get the residence change with his mom and sister, we would ask probation transfer.
All right. I don't think you would be a good candidate for probation. The court is going to find you guilty. The court is going to sentence you to 2 years in prison. Give you credit for each time served. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors, and there's a $0 fine. And the court will recommend the therapeutic community. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because it's a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal, because this is a felony conviction. You're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. You're welcome. I understand that sometimes our life goes off track. Maybe we don't have great parents or something else. I understand when you leave prison and beat you down. I know how difficult it is to get your license and to get legal documents when you just come from prison or just come from the foster care system. One of the reasons why I gave you the minimum is because of the shooting, right? And I understand that maybe you need to protect yourself, or you feel you need to protect yourself. All right. I mean, you're not allowed to possess weapons, okay? So when you are released, please do better. All right. William James, if you give me if you'll come forward, please. I'll ask that it run concurrent with the parole.
Yes, Judge.
Mr. James, come forward, please. Yes. I'm sorry. DC. Yes. Oh, no, they let me know, and you called in to let us know. I appreciate that. All right, your attorney is actually in a jury trial. So, do you work or no? Okay, so we can recall it recall this for August 19th. So they can have any type of. All right, so we're going to bring you back on August 19th. All right, and they'll sign you in. Once you sign the reset form, you can be excused. You're welcome. All right, make better decisions, okay? All right, good luck to you. While you're in custody, try to get your GED. If you can't get your GED, there are plenty of opportunities if they allow you to do it. I don't know if they'll allow you to do it with your affiliations, but there are plenty of opportunities for picking up a trade. One of my former clients, Mr. James, make sure you call your attorney before that date, because if he's in trial, I don't want you to have to come down by the bus if you don't have to. Okay, you're welcome. You too. And you would think, you go to prison for murder, you can't come back from that, right? But he got all of his legal documents, and he also got his degree in trade certification. All right, what is happening with Natalie Garcia? Not too long ago from the drug court. Criminal history.
She's stuck in another court.
Okay, Ms. Garcia, please come forward. All right, so you still have a chance to be in your son's life, but don't bring this nonsense into your son's life, okay? All right, good luck to you. Thank you, Judge. You're welcome.
Yes. Judge, there's some complicated issues here. We both want to reset for different reasons. Ms. Garcia had a deal with the Inspector General on some issues, and she successfully completed that. And then this came about, and it's kind of well related. So there's some race judicata issues that I'm looking at. We're still trying to, in fact, we're trying to schedule a file with OAG tomorrow morning. I will be in your court tomorrow morning as well. So we're just like another reset, Judge. I think by then, either I'll file my motion regarding the race judicata, or we're going to plea out. It's going to be one of the other.
All right, Norma, we call this for August 19th. You need to make sure you're on time for court. All right. Thank you. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. And Norma, let's plead deadline date. Something doesn't go right down there.
He was actually literally driving through his court office, which he just finished the shift. He's going to make his appearance. He's going to appear on time. We asked you to grant the probation, and if he does get the residence change with his mom and sister, we would ask the probation transfer.
All right, Ruben Sanchez with Mark LaHood. Yes, what's happening with this case? Okay, all right, once they give it to me.
We received the motion surprising and then they're working it out.
Okay. All right, the court is calling. Thank you. 2026 CR 005277. State versus Ruben Sanchez Jr. Could I have parties announced for the record? And is there an application in this case?
There is, Judge.
Probation, this is an application. Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
We have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Sanchez, did you review the application for community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, do you waive the reading?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Let me see.
I believe you all are proceeding on count 2, waiving count 1?
Yes.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
And I understand that maybe you need to protect yourself, or you feel you
Mr. Sanchez, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? In count 2, you're charged in possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 1 to 4 grams. That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses. The state will call on the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you're giving up those rights. If the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does.
Do you believe he is currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
He is and was.
Mr. Sanchez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea? Anyone promise you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, by entering this plea, you will be deported, denied naturalization, and re-entry. Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
According to the plea, there's a $1,000 fine probated. The state is proceeding on count 2, and they're recommending deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be your plea? State defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places? By signing that you're waiving your right to appeal, the only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, any such motions?
No, Judge. We're pleading instead of hearing the motions for us.
All right, thank you. Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 3 years, 100 hours community service restitution, the DOEP course, and regular UAs. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?